So, hello everyone once again, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Chinyere of Gillette Style Glam. If this is your first time here with me, thank you all so much for being here. And if you already subscribed to this channel, thank you so much. I want to welcome um, all the new subscribers to this channel. You guys are totally awesome. You totally rock. Thank you so much for being here. Um, before we talk about today's topic, I just want to say something. You see, um, I want to s- I want to create a safe space, okay, where you all can actually give your comments, your opinions, about any topics I bring out. At the same time, it is also important that we remember that we're not the only people sharing the space, and that there are other people that will come with their opinions and thoughts. And you have to understand that everyone is not doesn't have the same experience. That said, all I'm trying to say in a nutshell is to keep the comment section respectful. No name calling, no insults, because again, everyone has a right to share their opinion. And you share it and give constructive criticism. No name calling. I've had I've had um, 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 a subscriber at one point who, you know, on a topic I did, and he and I admired how he spoke and gave constructive criticism. I don't want insults in the comment section, please. If you know that you cannot, you know, comment without insulting anyone, or one another, then it's better to, because it's important that you're able, the whole idea is that we are listening to each other and one another. We are not, everyone's opinion mustn't be the same, and everyone's opinion is valid. Okay. So I want us to be able to keep this space safe and positive. We all know that some things that we do and say on social media is a reason for lots of people to go into depression and develop mental health issues, and we don't want that. We want a situation whereby anytime you come to this channel, you feel heard, you feel spoken for and spoken to. Okay. All right. So today's topic, we're going to be talking about the Taraji P Henson situation and the updates. Now, today, Taraji told us, it's really weird. So today, Taraji told us in an Instagram post, Taraji told us that or rather, the things she said has taken over, or the promotion of the film. Okay, so we're going to talk about that. Now, first of all, my last video, I'd already said that um, Taraji, sorry, I had already said that the video, the movie Color Purple, wasn't doing so well at the box office. And in the last video I made, I talked about the fact why everyone was calling Oprah's name in this. Now, I'm trying what I want to I want to give my thoughts and what is going on at this moment where Taraji is concerned, and Oprah, and and the studio. So Taraji said this. It's been over a week. Okay, Taraji made this statement, and so today Taraji now says, such and such as, I'm gonna put I'm gonna put the what she said. I'm gonna put it on Instagram. I'm gonna put it here, and she now talks about the fact that what she said is overclouding the movie, the promo, and blah 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 blah. Now, mind you, the budget for this movie was at $100 million. So, which means The success of this movie, we're talking 120, 130 million and above. Okay, that's the projected, that's the ROI. Okay, for this. Now, if you recall, I said in another video that the studio did not want Taraji, and I think, in a nutshell, that could have been where the problem started. The studio did not want Taraji, but Oprah, as she said, and as Taraji said, handpicked each and every one of them, okay, for this movie and insisted that Taraji must be in the movie. So I'm going to come out with something here, and I'm going to try to marry a little bit of Monique in this discourse. So the studio did not want Taraji, but Taraji was made. But eventually, Oprah, influenced the studio to, hire Taraji. Number one, and so Taraji, on the promotion of the movie, decides, okay, this should be the best time to talk about the pay disparity in the industry. Do I think? Do I think that it was the right moment? Yes. Do I think it was the right moment? No. Do I think Taraji had had enough at that point? Yes. Do I think that Taraji thought that what she said was going to overshadow the movie? I hold my thoughts. Tell me, guys, what you think in the comment section. I wouldn't say any. I hold my thoughts on that. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section. That said, so a lot of factors, naturally as a person, I hate being the second thought. If you remember, this is all about who we are and what we are willing and ready to do. If I wasn't the first, it's just like it's just like when you go for a job interview. You were not taken after the interview, and you were told as such that you were not going to be taken. If that company calls you back or calls me back for that job, I will decline. It has happened to me. I went for a job interview about 6 years ago, and it wasn't in my city. So it meant I was probably going to move from where we lived. I was probably going to, find a new school. In fact, when I got there, I had already begun to put things in motion, how to, schools, football clubs or sports clubs, transport, I had begun to put things in motion because the company was quite interesting, and there seemed to be lots of prospects. And in fact, I was actually invited. Getting there, everything began, we had breakfast, we were served breakfast, and even lunch. And so we had the first round of interviews. It was a test. I passed. The second test, I passed. The third test, I passed. And each test, they downsized. And so at the end, they kept us hanging around. They had already made their decisions on certain people, but I wasn't hearing anything, And the way to our understanding, those who were left were going to be hired for the job. So it didn't seem like anything was going to go get amiss. At the last moment, some lady talks to me, and one thing I learned very quickly working in France was, if I got to a company and I did not see at least 5 Black people working there, and not just 5 Black people, I'm talking core African, if I don't see up to 5 in that vicinity, I'm not going to work for the company. So I'd begun to make a head count, and I'd only counted 2. And so this lady, out of the blues, walks up to me, and she starts a series of questions that I had no clue about, which were not linked at all to what the interview or the job was about. And at a point, I asked, I said, "Why are you why these questions? Because I think the interview is over. We've been asked to leave." And then she says, "Oh, thank you." And then I leave. I get back on a train and come back home. I met a couple of people there, and one of the girls whom I met was like, sent me a message. Have you? I'm like, no. I went to the employment agency at the time, and they said, okay, I think you should contact them because no matter what, yes or no, they should reply. So I called back the employment agency, and they said, okay, they'll get a response for me to me as quickly as possible. They got me the response and they said no, that I did not fulfill the criteria, okay, of what they were looking for. No problem. Now, out of all of us, there was the girl whom I was friendly with. For her, it was, done. And she was given a period where because she was heavily pregnant. And so she was given a period where she was going to have her baby before everything was clear for her. She was even handed a contract a week later and stuff. Get there, and I'm like, okay, fine, that's that. And in a way, I was relieved because I was having doubts. Then a week later, what am I saying? 2 weeks later, I get an email. The same company inviting me for the job, the same company giving me the job offer. And I was very, very happy and joyful to reply that email with a resounding no, because I knew what had happened. What had happened was the prospect and the person that they had given contract to, which is the girl I knew, wasn't going to be able to deliver. And so I became what they were looking for. And I told them in a very happy voice, no. And I think that's what happened here. Taraji was not meant to be in this movie. And again, there's a lot of I'm getting a lot of psychology in this, and that's why Oprah has to take her side of the blame. She's a producer, one, and so if she was able to influence the studio and insist that Taraji was on this film, why wasn't she able to be insistent on everything? You see, again, just like I said in the other video, there are some people that they want that status of help us, help me, help me. They want it. They want to be that Messiah. It sounds good to their ears. It serves their ego. Now, this is where I'm coming in with with the thought process I'm going in with this. And so, it is not by it's not a mistake, neither is it by design, and it's not an how would I put it? It was the hand of God. Let me use it that way. It's the hand of God that made Taraji say what she said about the pay disparity. It's only the hand of God. I want to say a big congratulations to Monique because she got her Netflix special. I watched it and I cried. I did cry. I watched her Netflix special yesterday and I cried. Congratulations, Monique. You fought hard and your voice will be heard. Now, so it's not by mistake, it's not by design. And again, it was meant to happen. What is going on with the movie Color Purple, what Taraji said was meant to happen. If it was not meant to happen, it wouldn't have happened. Now, that said, Taraji is now backtracking. And I have some ideas. One, she's been threatened that her career is going to be over. Two, Oprah, has chop, chop, chop. Now, at this point, if I were Taraji, I wouldn't say anything to backtrack because you didn't lie. You said the truth. Because backtracking sounds like you guys were complaining about the bare minimum. Remember, I had said in the previous video that Fantasia and the other lady, they were on a round table and and Oprah was there, but Taraji wasn't there. And they were being asked questions, and Fantasia said, yeah, when they complained about this, and we called Oprah and it was solved, and we did this and it was taken care of. I noticed the stress on everything they were saying. And then I understood this was damage control at that point. Now the damage control, and Taraji had that, even then Taraji hadn't said anything up until yesterday. And she spoke. So at this point, I feel that Taraji is being threatened. Again, just like Monique said, by the time Oprah opened her mouth and told the world that Monique was difficult to work with, that was all Oprah needed. There was nothing more. And so the ripple effect began to take place. As simple as that. The ripple effect began to take place. And so here we see another one that is about to play out, because Oprah has actually spoken and said, well, I saw myself, I'm going to look for that video because I actually did comments under it. I heard that I was trending on social media, blah, 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 blah. And then she now removes the blame from herself. You see? And I'm Igbo. I will tell you all, I am Nigerian. First of all, I am Igbo and then Nigerian. And by virtue of that, there's something that happens in Igbo land. You see, when an adult, and when we say adult, we're not talking about just an adult, we're talking about a senior person and someone who's advanced in age. When an adult is doing something or is somewhere where things are not right, and when her junior ones or his junior ones are there and things are not okay, automatically it is the onus lies on that adult to ensure that those things are done correctly or is correctly put together for the safety and the well-being of the junior ones behind them. So you people may not understand. A lot of people keep on saying things like Oprah did not do anything. You see, we Black people, what we fail to understand is that we are very cultural. And we have our culture. It is in our DNA. So you may be like, oh, I'm Black American, I'm this, I'm that, I'm that, I'm that. The blood that brought you is still singing in your veins. And that is why it is very easy to call out. You don't blame children, you blame adults. Let me give you an example. I was in I'm the first of 5 kids. And I recall on this day, we were playing as kids. Now, I'm the first. So for them, I'm supposed to know better, isn't it? Good. But then, no, I joined the bandwagon in the play and my little brother got hurt. And then my mom comes out and she was livid. Okay? And she smacks me and tells me to kneel down. Now, one of the things I understood and I couldn't get, I'm like, but why? Why am I being punished? We're all playing. And then I recall when she told me, she said, in Igbo, Iwada, oge nwa kwesịrị na-eduru ndị a. Ebe anwa ihe anụnwa adịrọ mma, igosi ha nke dị mma. Ụmụ ihe ndị anụnwa ha adịrọ mma. Ha ga-emerụ unu ahụ. Onye kwesịrị iwepụta ewepụ. And what she said in a nutshell was, you are the first, you are the eldest. And that when the fact that you are playing, she said she's not upset about the fact that we're playing, but the fact that we were playing and I saw that all these places and all these things here were not properly, were not in order, and it wasn't well placed. And so it was my duty, because I knew better, to get things in order. And that is why Oprah is being blamed. Whether you want to, however, she wants to remove herself from the equation. Okay? She needs to sit down, okay, and understand her role. Oprah is riding on the support of Black people in the US. The books she brings out, it is Black people who buy them more. The movies she churns out, it's Black people who watch them more. When the Oprah Winfrey show was on, it was Black people who watched the most. OWN TV is up, it is still Oprah. When Iyonla was doing the show, every Black person was watching. Oprah makes money off the backs of her Black brothers and sisters, children, and aunties, you name it. So it is only normal that she will be called out. You see, one of the things an adult does not do, and it's something I learned very early, not an adult, not just an adult, an elder, let me use the word elder. One of the things an elder does not do is, it's not my fault, oh, and want to remove yourself from blame. It makes you seem small. It makes you seem childish. My son, when he was about 3 years or 4 years old, was at school. Now, when the kids play, there must be 2 people watching them, plus the class teacher included. And so the class teacher was not there. The minders were there. The class teacher was meant to be there. She was not there. The minders were there. And so till date, I don't know how my son fell. I just keep thanking God that I just don't know. I don't know how my son fell and he sprained his neck. My son was this way. I was called to the school. I was panicked. I ran almost to the school from my office. Got there, and my son had his head bent this way. He couldn't straighten his head. I looked at the teacher and asked, what happened to my child? No, before that, it was the next day. We called the ambulance. The ambulance came and picked us and then put his head in a traction. My son was in that traction for a week. He ate on traction. He peed while on traction. He pooed while on traction. You name it. A child. At this age, he was just 4. I went to the school the next day. Now, for the fact that he was not there, he was at the hospital, I had to be off work for the period of time. And those days, I'm not paid for them. I went back to the school, called and told the teacher that I would like to see her. And she said, yeah, that it would be important and blah, blah, blah. I got to the school and I asked her, what happened to my child? I kid you not. The first thing she said was, "Je t'ai pas là." Moi, j'étais pas là, je savais pas. Meaning, she wasn't there, she didn't know. I looked at her. I looked at her long and hard. I said, Madam, mais c'est irresponsable ce que tu me dis. Hein? Normalement, le fait que mon enfant est dans cette école, c'est-à-dire que la responsabilité, j'ai mis la responsabilité de mon enfant dans votre commun. Alors aujourd'hui, tu me dis que aujourd'hui, mon enfant est hospitalisé et tu me dis à ce moment-là que tu connais pas, tu sais pas. Alors qui va me dire la vérité? Les attendants, ils savent rien. Toi non plus, vous non plus, vous savez rien. And that was the day I decided I was done with that school. He will finish his year. I wrote a heavily worded letter to the school on that subject. That lady knew that I saw her as very irresponsible at that point. And from that day, she avoided me. Anytime she saw me, she said hello, but she could not look me in the eyes. She couldn't. So you see, there are certain things that when an adult, an elderly person does, it sounds very childish. Taraji, on the other hand, is afraid. She's afraid and she's scared. Her career, is she going to ever work again? And so she's backtracking, and I totally understand. The thing about it is, Taraji, people love you. Your people love you. We all love you. And we've always known you as someone who has never complained. Taraji, we've seen you. We've seen you deliver. If there was anywhere I fell in love with you, totally was in Empire. And for that, I would tell you, stick to your guns, honey. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. If every one of us understood the kind of power we wielded, the power of strength, conviction, and courage, and I understand because baby girl has got bills to pay, but I wish you did not have to backtrack because it makes the whole thing seem very unserious. I wish you had stuck to it because what happens at that point will then be that the work that needs to be done in the industry where Black people are concerned is done. Yes. You see, it has to take one person. Monique has already sacrificed herself. You weren't sacrificing yourself. You were only confirming what Monique had been saying. That was all. You were not doing anything wrong. You were just confirming exactly what Monique has been saying for the last couple of years. And you should have stuck to your guns, honey. So, at this rate, at this point, I just wish that one, my opinion on this is this. Taraji, you are a phenomenal actress. Keep going. After this, no one is going to underestimate you again. Okay? Two, times Black people, we just put our coins in the wrong places. That's it. We just put our coins in the wrong places. I say this all the time. I've said this so many. I have, people I talk to, even in France. And I tell them, I said, see, as a community, if you support your sister in her business, she's making money. Your sister supports me, I'm making money. We both support her, she's making money. Who is losing? No one. We're all winning. That's the whole idea. We, according to Davido, we rise by lifting others. That's how the Jewish people live. That's how they, even the Arabs, that's the same thing. That is the power of your coin. If your money is moving around, you will make it. That's all I'm saying. And on this note, guys, thank you all so much for being with me. Thank you all so much for watching. And I'll see you in another video. Bye.